Good evening and welcome to Ubuntu channel. And this program that we are presenting to you is designed for you to actually add your voice to the stories that have made headlines throughout the week. We do sincerely apologize for the technical hitch that we had at the beginning. My name is Chaza to host you tonight. And I'm actually having, my colleagues to add their voices to the stories that we do have right here. I have Lance Sani Banda, who is actually with us. Lance, good evening and welcome to the program. It appears Lance is having, connectivity problem there. As we do wait for him, just to make mention that you are welcome to participate on the program by actually dropping us a comment in the comment box if you are actually following us, through Facebook, or if you are following us, on Twitter or, YouTube, you can participate right here. You are so very welcome. Lawrence, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza, and thank you so much for having me, and good evening to our viewers.
Beautiful. Let's see if Lance is having, connectivity now. Lance, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, you are now loud and clear. Unfortunately, just a greeting he has, been cut out. Lawrence, how's been your week?
Well, full of surprises, full of this and that, busy, running up and down, trying to chase the paper, But it's been a blessed week. It's been a blessed week, and thank God for seeing me through this week, and hopefully having a better week that's coming, starting tomorrow.
Beautiful. Lance, once more, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza. Good evening to Lawrence, as well as good evening to our viewers out there. It's a lovely Saturday, and I am so happy to be back after a number of Saturdays that I haven't been here. I'm looking so forward to today's program, Chaza.
Beautiful. It's actually good, to have you this evening. And I'm just wondering, the two of you so far are not actually, active where the video is concerned. Are you coming live video-wise anytime?
Well, for me, at least, I have a nice excuse. the nice excuse that I have is that Zesco is not your good partner when it comes to such good programs. So I would rather we have voice than the picture. Otherwise, you only be seeing black.
Men in black. Okay, I hope Lawrence will actually, join us video-wise. Anyhow, whoever does, the better. But due to some extenuating factors, if you can't, we definitely appreciate, the aspect of the voice. Let's quickly get to the first story, and we get to add our voice on the other side.
Family morning here. Guys, mpeleka vishita kutsamba kuno. Apasi kutsamba kwengapani konsi. Ona ntoza background ya. Inereji yanga ndiye. Nanyamka kunyumba tibwembele meeting kuna. Ya fertilizer nifika kuna tiyo. Bonse tufileche kwa mbo shita apply. Shita apply. Kuti tfuno tengako fertilizer chitambo pempa. Mananishi bonse zakwanisa kuchita apply ninchito nakute kulima konse nishito awe government apapeve mianganeko bantu wonsawa imagine pamela papadwe sana punzile pale naona madigiri na madiploma pamela so mutianganeko muyanganeko most especially sana nde ku school wonse abantu apaswa rudandao.
There it is. We have, a complaint coming from, the farmers. They are one of the representatives of, the farmers. And I think we have, three, stories that are interrelated. I'll request IT to probably play the other two, then we get to make our comments, on those stories.
These are vulnerable but viable farmers of Rufunsa district who are under the Farmer Input Support Program, FISIP, that government has continued to empower with farming inputs to alleviate poverty at household level, making their contributions of the 400 kwacha for a pack of farming inputs. The farmers are happy that Rufunsa District Administration and the District Agriculture Coordinator's Office have made an initiative for them to pay locally.
Bakutireterako banki nga basinakwanise bakikulire kuyenda muchongo ekitatipozi so pamene batireterako banki kuno kyekitabuka kyababo ndi makamaka bakikulire nga basembesi banakwanise kukwera kuyenda muchongo ekitatipozi
Acting District Agriculture Coordinator DACO Clementine Sinkara is happy that farmers are able to pay within the district to reduce the costs.
Opened last week on Friday, and as the district, we've started issuing out authorities to collect, and farmers are also able to deposit because we have agents, bank agents here who are even collecting money. So a farmer is able to collect the authorities to deposit and later on deposit directly to reduce on their costs. That's what we are doing currently.
Rufunsa district has received more than 36,000 by 50 kg bags of D-compound fertilizer to be given to farmers under the Farmer Input Support Program, FISIP, a government program aimed at alleviating poverty at household level. These farmers are now waiting for seed and top dressing fertilizer, despite the district experiencing different types of rain distribution. Reporting in Rufunsa district, I am Mzekio Antembe.
You have been in this program, go out all of you, and then we put new. No. We are saying those who have been receiving these inputs for say 5 years plus can now start leaving way for others. It is only a fair thing that we want to do. Otherwise, some have been on this program from 2000.
There we are. The first clip, was talking about, a farmer, with a multitude behind complaining that, the farmers input support program is not working out, properly, and they need to apply and so on and so forth. Then we went on to Rufunsa there, where, farmers are smiling and they've started receiving, fertilizer there. And that payment mode, has come close to their doorstep. And the minister there was saying some farmers have overstayed, benefiting from the same program, and they needed to exit so that new ones can come on board. Let's have, reactions. I'll invite you, Lawrence, to come, first. Then we get to Lance.
Well, thank you so much, Chaza. These three stories, actually, I think I choose to start with the sentiments from the minister, where he's talking about having some people overstaying on the program and not graduating. It reminds me of one interview I saw where we had Madam Edith Nawakwi, who was actually telling us how they came up with the FISIP program and what was the idea behind it. And to some extent, what was explained by Madam Edith Nawakwi in that interview, she was actually, the program is not actually meant to have people benefiting from the program over and over and over and over, but was meant to actually help people for a certain period of time and have them graduate so that others can come in like that. What it is that keeping people on this program for the rest of their lives is quite a costly program for the government, and therefore the whole idea was to help people start up, give them time to grow in their farming, and also manage to secure something in a certain period of time. And after that, the farmers are expected to actually be able to take care of themselves, to actually be able to buy their own seed, to actually finance their own agriculture. But over the years, the program was kind of distorted because it has been used as a political tool to some extent, where sitting governments, sitting heads of state, sitting ministers try to use it to woo farmers to show that they are actually working, when actually it's actually a huge cost on the treasury as things stand. So what it is now is, I think the minister has got a point there. If that was the inception, or that was the idea behind the inception of the farmer input support program, then probably that's a good one. But the only problem we have is that this whole implementation is happening so quite abrupt, such that people were not sensitized to say, some of you, this will be the last year. At least sit down with the farmers, explain to them to say, this is what we are trying to do. We want to bring other people, because we cannot keep on adding every year. We are just adding people to the list of beneficiaries. At the end of the day, we are just increasing and increasing and increasing the burden on government. So what it is that we were supposed to have some sort of a way and explain this to the farmers, so that they have the idea of what is going to happen. Unlike what is happening now, where people have just been removed because they didn't plan for it, they didn't expect it, and therefore they thought it was life as usual. So we need to have a situation where when people are put on the program, they are nicely explained to, you are going to be on this program for this number of years. So this will be your first, you are going to be there for, if it's 4 years, for example, this number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4, you are out of the program. I think people, as they go into these things, they should be able to understand, so that people are able to plan for these things, are able to budget for these things. And also, at the end of the day, when people are removed, they should not be surprised. But this time around, people are actually surprised because they are not aware. Some of these people are thinking when you are put on the FISIP program, it's muyayaya. Until you die, you are going to be there. And now they are acting surprised because they don't know. So I think it's time for, it's a duty of the government. Like we have always said, the government needs to find time and explain some of the policies to the people, so that people appreciate and understand. But where there is lack of information, actually, it's going to be chaos everywhere. People will be complaining everywhere, and that is what we are seeing. And coming to the lady in Chivombo complaining about applications for the same FISIP fertilizers, seeds, and whatsoever. I think it looks like there is quite if that is really the case, they have been asked to apply, then there should be some sort of a change in policy, or maybe in implementation of this program somehow, because the way we have known FISPO to be functioning is people belong to a cooperative first and foremost, and a cooperative, they contribute money for the cooperative, and all the beneficiaries put up the money together and do the deposit, like we have seen in the other clip where they're talking about depositing and all that. But again, if we're going to complicate things and start asking people to start writing applications and all that, I think it's going to disadvantage quite a number of people, because remember, some of the people in the program are actually the aged, who might not be able to write, who might not be able to read, and it's going to just complicate issues for them. So I think let us try it by all means to ensure that some of these things are made as easy as possible, so that as many people can benefit. We see that there's a lot of good programs that the government has put in place. For example, we can talk about CEC loans, we can talk about CDF loans, where people failed to apply for them because they don't know the process, or they can't read, or they can't write. And this is what has led to the poor participation in some of these projects or programs by the government. And this is going to also be one of them. If that is going to be the case, I submit.
All right, Lawrence, thank you so much. We do appreciate that. It's unfortunate that Lance, continuously, suffers, from connectivity, challenges there. But we can make progress, and hoping that you definitely get to join us. I wish we could hear, his point of view as regards, these stories. Let's quickly get to the next, couple of stories. Then we get to add our voice on the other side.
Due to continued pools of rainwater remain stagnant due to continued flooding in this area. This has resulted in the destruction of land and homes, causing road closures and infrastructure damage. The situation in Lusaka's Misisi compound has continued in a dilapidated state. The residents are appealing to relevant authorities for swift action towards the flooding in their area. In an interview with Movie TV News, a resident says that the area is flooded and worse off, the physical matter from nearby pit latrines mixed with the flowing water.
Nangena mukati mwa toilet vija papa mwa mukati vija vinasokera pamwamba manzi pansi begi pamwamba so tipempa ko government tandizireko amanzi ayali hapa so amopitu hata ukipenda huku mvula iyo kama so tandizireko onani mwamini ayiko manzi tangu amopitira kuyenda.
Meanwhile, Martha Perry laments that school-going children are finding it difficult to navigate to the usual routes to and from school due to pools of rainwater collecting in their usual routes.
So tipempako bajeko nzelo akaso manyumba hapa ni nyumba pa nyumba mlipema road so manyumba yakaina vipini matuvi yakana mwamino so tipempako madoti bakaitwe kwa mtuma center road kwa mtu oneka kwa timotoka ingapite wafakamo so that to avoid matenda bana bangono government wakomboka fast bana so bakakomboka bambo kusebe mapalent chapesi kati bando gulisa kuma Soweto sakira bokutia bana so bamakomboka fast.
Reporting for Movie TV News, Wembia Kane.
All right, there we have it, a story there from, Mrs. Compound. I think let me invite Lance to actually be the first to react to this one. Lance, are you there? It appears he's still having, some challenges there, and eventually has been cut out. Lawrence, over to you.
Thank you so much. A few days ago, actually, let me say last week, I was in Lusaka, in the capital city of Zambia, Lusaka, and somehow I was standing somewhere near Unza, on the other side of Unza. That is on the side of Kalundu, and something just clicked my mind, and I was asking myself, we are approaching the rain season, and how ready are we as a city, Lusaka, for the rains? And I look at the nearby drainages; they are all blocked. I look at people selling there; they all seem not unconcerned about whatever is happening. And then we are very comfortable in like that, and we want to see how do I put it? We want to react when the rains start. That is when we now remember that, oh, we have this problem because it is now affecting us. This problem happens every year. Every year we have this same problem. When the rain goes, it's a time for us to work on some of these problems. But what do? We sit back, we relax, and forget about it. When rains come, we start making noise about it. We'll make noise about these floodings and all that. We'll make noise about it probably for the next couple of months. And after the rain season goes, we'll all be quiet and forget about it. Well, but we all know, even the points, Chaza, each and every one of us has got an idea of where exactly we experience some of these issues. We have an idea, and we know what the solution is to those problems. We know, all of us know, and we will always say, when the rains finish, we shall work on this, and when the rains finish, we go back to sleep. And when the rains start, we start talking about it. No, Boma Yanganefu, Boma Yanganefu. To be honest, I think there are some of these things that we as citizens should be able to do for ourselves. The issue of Boma Yanganepo, Boma Yanganepo, Boma Yanganepo, while we fold our arms and sit down, is where I actually usually have a problem. Because even if Boma is to Yanganapo about it, we are the same ones. Even if they build the drainage, we're the same ones who's going to throw rubbish in there. It's not Boma. And when that happens, we'll start again calling Boma Yanganepo, Boma Yanganepo. I don't know why we have this kind of mentality as Zambians. I don't know why we easily forget. But at the end of the day, let's just be fair. If you can go back to the same area and ask them, did this issue happen last year? They'll tell you yes. Did this issue happen the year before? They'll tell you yes. Even the other year, they'll tell you yes. And what have you been doing about it? No, we're waiting for Boma. End of story. Sometimes let us have community-based interventions. Right now, there is a community that I'm seeing somewhere trying to work on the road. They're actually putting up 100 kwacha, 200 kwacha, so that they can get gravel and put on the road where they stay because it floods. Why can't we all have such kinds of solutions for our own areas? Because at the end of the day, like you have heard in the clip, people are saying, no, our children, our what, they are worried about. They are our children. But we want Boma to come and Yanganapo so that our children can be fine. We should have a mentality where we are willing to do something also about the situation. Doing something should be the mindset that we have. When the situation where you are in, or the environment that you are in, is not good and you know it is not good, see what you can do about it. If Boma is to come in, they should come and supplement the efforts that we have put in place. And like we are the ones that are sabotaging the efforts of the government, because even where there are drainages, nicely built drainages, they are flooded with the garbage there. We are the ones, not the Boma that came. It's individual. It's individuals. And this is, I think, to some extent, these kinds of situations actually really worry me. Also, it goes to the same city council as well, Lusaka City Council. Lusaka City Council, we all know that come somehow, every time from now, bus stations like Limata will be flooded. We know, and we shall see this on the news. We know Limata will be flooded. When the rains were gone, what did the council do about that? Nothing. So it's all of us, starting from local authorities to individuals to family levels, down to the smallest, to the last born of each and every family. All of us have neglected ourselves, and in the end, it's us who are going to suffer the consequences. And it really hurts me to know in places like what we have just seen in the clip. They do not have flushable toilets. Most of the households don't have flushable toilets. It's pit latrines. And when pit latrines are flooded, everything that is inside there will come out and will be flowing there. It's really a health hazard. And at the end of the day, what are we planning for people who are living there as a local authority so that we can help them when it comes to sanitation? What are we doing? Because it's not the only area. Kalingalinga will also, Kanyama will have the same problem. That I know. Kanyama will have the same problem. They do not have flushable toilets, pit latrines, and the soil that they have there is very much impermeable, and it causes floods all over. So the place, when it rains heavily, to be flooded, we know before it even happens, we know. But what are we doing about it? We are waiting for things to happen until we hear someone has died or there is an outbreak of cholera. That's when you see local authorities running around. Environmental office of the Lusaka City Council running around there, busy testing water, testing this, closing down wells, closing. But we know this is the problem that is there. We know. Why are we not coming up with the permanent solutions for that?
All right. Well, yes, I do appreciate, and you are really full of questions and also ideas there, and I do agree with you that as a country we need to prepare for these things, because even when we look at our cities, the designs, I think in contemplation as they were coming up with them, I don't think issues to do with a proper drainage system was put into place. I really doubt. Even these other developments are coming up, I really doubt if they have this in contemplation.
Chaza, the thing is, I think most of the places in Lusaka are site and service. That is, people started building houses. They started giving themselves plots before they were legalized. And so it became difficult for the local authorities to start making arrangements for some of these necessities to be in place. You can talk of a lot of places where people were given, and in some places, if you go there, you will not even have a proper road to go to access a house you are trying to visit. You have to pass through someone's door, someone's yard, someone's what, for you to reach where you are going. It's because there was no proper planning, as people were giving themselves land, or maybe they were buying land from unauthorized sources, and the government, or people will come to government and say, no, Boma Yanganepo, Boma Yanganepo, Boma Itianganepo. And the Boma will always Yanganapo as usual. And they say, oh, since people have already built and they are settled, maybe just give them titles to them so they can just stay. And in the end, these are the results that we have. And it's something that we really need to work on and come up with permanent solutions, especially when it comes to issues of water and sanitation. This one, the very critical issue that I think, it's the anthem. I think you can even see on social media right now, there are a lot of memes already coming up saying, we are there. It's now the season where you start climbing one fence to pass a road because the road is flooded. Start climbing one fence like monkeys. You start jumping here and there from one stone to another. You even have people who have papu business. They will papa you and put you on carry you on their backs so that you can cross the road and all that. This is it is very well known. All of us know. There is no one who can claim they don't know this.
I think enough of this one. Let's quickly get to the next story and see you on the other side.
Sure.
It appears we are having, some technical issue to take us to the next story there. I will invite you again because I cut you short, and maybe we can go to the next story. I can see
houses in Chitemalesa area of Rufunsa district in Lusaka province have had their roofs blown off due to heavy rains experienced on Tuesday. Families have been left homeless and are now appealing to government and other stakeholders for assistance.
Tandizo chakudya chinawonongeka na manzi. Malata awonongeka yonse nilibera ku malata. So,
I need help. My iron sheets and food were all destroyed.
So tandizo ina ningapempheko kapena ngatandizeko baboma. Tandizo iliyonse ngatandizeko pena cement.
I'm appealing to government to help me buy the iron sheets and cement.
Wunda Ward Councillor says that some children who were in these houses were injured, while others are hospitalized at Levi Mwanawasa Hospital.
Of communities, I think the total numbers as of today that we've managed to put in our report are 19. but again, it calls us to coming because this area is vast, and because in terms of these rains, some areas are impassable. Indeed, like the owner of this house has said, 4 people were admitted at Levi Mwanawasa Hospital.
Here at Machinshi Irrigation Scheme, a water tank that supplies water to the fields has also been damaged after falling off from the overhead stand.
With this climate change that we are having, because we want to connect the water when we plant our soya beans in case we have less rains, so that we can water our soya beans. So that is going to be a challenge for us, because this tank was going to help us do the irrigation scheme.
Over 19 families have been affected by the heavy rains that occurred on Tuesday. These families are appealing for assistance from government. Evelyn Masialeti, Zanis, Rufonsa District.
Thank you so much for watching.
That is a very unfortunate, development there. 19 families affected, and some were injured, some hospitalized, and so on and so forth. And much of it is actually, an appeal in terms of help that is needed to put back, the roof and patching up, the buildings and so on and so forth. Plus the food that was wasted due to the same rains. Lawrence.
Well, I think it's really sad. It saddens me to see families suffer such kind of calamities. Very unplanned, very unbudgeted, very unexpected, and things like this happen. I really sympathize with the families, the 19 families in question in Rufunsa, and may God grant you the wisdom and ability, and also means to recover what was lost in this case. But Chaza, it all comes back to the same. It all comes back to the same as what we were just from talking about. This is a season that comes with its own disasters, the rain season, but it comes with its own disasters, and to some extent, I felt bad that we can see some kids who were injured in the process, and because the houses that people were staying in collapsed. I would really want to talk about the Building Act and the laws, how they're supposed to be applied, but I don't think it really helps anyone right now because things have already happened. But the only thing I would do is sensitize people out there. When you build a house, ensure that everything is in place, and there is a way that you do that. There are building inspectors from councils. Visit your local authorities. They should be able to tell you this house is a hazard. It's going to give you problems. It's going to fall on you. That is why they are there. Let us make use of them, because we are now putting the lives of even children at risk now. Because I see one child there who was nursing some wounds and all that, and we should really not go to those stages. But things have already happened, and I understand probably Rufunsa is a rural area and we cannot place it so much on them, but the way that I've given is specifically for people in Lusaka, especially because this is where we also see this happening a lot. The same places where we have seen the flooding, the same areas where we usually have this, because mostly we use baked blocks, and those ones sometimes when they stay with water so much, they begin to wear off and all that, and in the end they might give an accident and all that. So let's make sure that we have the right materials to use in areas that especially are prone to floods. Let us just ensure of that. And also, as you have seen, Chaza, or we've done 2 stories. Well, we've done 3 stories now, and all the stories are talking about getting something from government. All of them, they are waiting for, and they are saying, oh, and it's the same language that we are using. It's Boma Yang, it's Langaneko. Everyone is expecting for Boma Kubalanga Napo. At the end of the day, I'm actually very impressed with this previous clip where we have even seen people had put up a tank to so that it can help them mitigate the effects of climate change. If it doesn't train as they want, they should be able to water their fields. A brilliant idea, actually. It's just unfortunate that the winds have actually done them injustice, but these are people that actually deserve to be assisted, because you can see what they are trying to do. They are doing something for themselves. They are pulling themselves in a certain direction, and that is what we want to see. That is what I'm talking about. Let us develop a culture of trying to do something, because while others will be crying to government if the rains are not enough, they'll be trying to government again, say, Boma iti yanga nepo. These particular people had even put up structures to store water, to help them reserve water when they have water, and so that they can water the plants when there is a drought. Brilliant idea. This can't go without notice, and we should encourage such from as many farmers as possible, so that if there's a drought, we minimize on people crying for Boma Itiranganeko. I submit, Chaz.
Thank you so much, Lawrence. And to those that are viewing, an appeal has been made. There are people out there that are in need of, help, in need of assistance. If you can, please reach out to them and rescue them from, what they are suffering from. Let's quickly get to the next story.
Access to his house has become more difficult as the wall fence at his doorstep has continued to be made higher. A check by Movie TV News Crew found 56-year-old Yela Simbei of Tanzanian origin facing struggles in accessing and exiting his house of residence. This has made it difficult for him to answer the call of nature due to the height of the wall fence erected between his house and the toilet. Speaking in an interview, Mr. Simbei alleges that his neighbor is linked to a named political party and is using the powers to order his tenants to continue building the wall fence up.
8 times saonekera ku sitting planning vakanso ava pakanyama chiteni apa pakanyama polisi kanso ili apa pambali sabwera ku sitting planning sabwera tena tungankale na pawa ya manga wamana muza kuti mange ni ndani bene bake batapa ine nimvera mau yachoka kukoti kuti vanela mulire kuti iwe ni so veve vanela mphamvu za manga na kupitiliza.
When approached the alleged tenant, she refused to cooperate and denied knowing who their landlord is. Now the question this reporter has is, when is Mr. Simbei going to receive help, as he claims he has made efforts to visit the Ministry of Lands and the Civic Center, but nothing has been done yet. And also why the tenant to the alleged landlord is not cooperating in revealing her landlord's details. Esther Nkoma reporting
That is an issue to do with, planning, as regards building of houses and so on. And it's an issue that you tackled when you were talking about, the other issue that we had. And I can see by your smile, you are itching to actually, react to that. Please do go ahead.
I'm actually laughing because it looks funny, but it's not actually funny. So it leaves those situations that leave you wondering what to do, whether to laugh, whether to feel bad, whether to feel pity. I don't know. But all the same, I think it comes back to the same. We are all building without noticing, without notifying the local authorities and whatever activities we are doing on our pieces of land. So it becomes very difficult to plan for some of these things. As you can see, the old man is struggling to even access the toilet because he has to jump on a wall fence to access a toilet from his own house. I think this is unacceptable, honestly. Sometimes even when there is a hiccup or maybe a hitch from the council in terms of oversight, I think as neighbors, it's important we sit down and resolve some of these issues reasonably and amicably. I think I have seen people resolve land issues, the boundary issues by themselves, because they have said no. At the end of the day, this one is going to be my neighbor, and this one is going to be my neighbor. So if we can't fail to resolve a small issue on boundaries, how are we going to avoid how are we going to resolve bigger issues when they come in future? Because we are going to be neighbors. I'm building here, he's building there. In the long run, we are going to be neighbors, and already we are looking at people who are neighbors already. The reporter puts it very well. Why are the tenants failing to review the details of their landlord so that this issue can be resolved? It looks like it's a personal issue they have with the old man there, and they are trying to make it possible by all means to frustrate him and make sure that his life is not at peace. I don't know what he did. I don't know what they suspect he did, or I don't know what they think he did. I'm not sure. But it looks like it's a personal vendetta that they have against the old man. And as such, they are trying to deal with him separately, I should put it that way. And indeed, they are dealing with him, because it's a pity to see an old man like him climbing a wall fence to leave his house, climbing a wall fence to go to the toilet. For me, it doesn't make sense. We should reach a stage where we are able to coexist and look out for each other as neighbors. That is why we are called neighbors. It's actually the Zambian DNA to look out for each other. It's what we do best. That's how I know Zambians. And what I'm seeing in that video is really un-Zambian. And I think somehow this man needs help. If at all there is a way the local authorities can help, I think justice delayed is justice denied. That is how we should look at it. And the more they keep delaying helping this man, the more he suffers the consequences of whatever is transpiring there, which is very unfortunate. I submit, Chaza.
All right, so that man is not an ordinary man, but he's a senior citizen. So senior citizens also deserve some level of treatment, and that treatment is really uncalled for. We hope that he's going to receive some help in that regard, because that easement that was there for a test of time has been taken away from him. It is really unfortunate. Quickly go to the next story.
They have been in the children's intensive care unit for 3 weeks now. These two babies were dumped by their mothers on the same day, just days after their birth. Unknown 1 was found in an unfinished building, while unknown 2 was found near the Kafue River. And neonatal ward has been their home since then. Dr. Crispin Mwemba was on duty when the two babies were brought to the Kitwe Teaching Hospital last month.
Yeah, we received 2 babies on the 15th of October. The 2 babies were picked from different places. So we received the first baby brought in by the police, female. We don't know the precise age, but was picked up in an unfinished building. The second baby, I think, was brought in about 3 hours later. So this baby was picked near Kafue River, and when we received the baby, the placenta was still attached. The baby was just wrapped in a cloth and had a lot of bruises. So we took the baby as to be septic, so we admitted.
The babies are now in stable condition.
So as we speak, both babies are about 3 weeks, entering 4 weeks, and they are out of danger now.
The nurses shared how they have been taking
feeding them 3 hours. We have 3 shifts. So morning shift as nurses, we feed them every 3 hours. Then the next shift starts at 13 hours. Nurses that comes at 13 hours, they also feed them. Even the night nurses.
The 2 babies have been discharged but have to stay here until the Social Welfare Department takes up the case. Msenga Mlimba, ZMBC News in Kitwe.
That's the way life is, some couples would go fasting, do all sorts of things, go to the hospital here and there, cry and wishing that they could have children, and others are disposing of their children in that manner. Your reaction, Lawrence?
Very unfortunate, very sad, very uncalled for. I really thought we are past the era of dumping children, because this time around we've got legalized ways of putting up children for adoption. If you don't want the child, there are very much legal ways of putting the child up for adoption, and there are also orphanages that are offering to help such kinds of children. And to just throw them away is really wicked in my eyes. And if I really wish we could identify the parents to those children so that we can deal with them. We're using the law, of course, not physically or manhandling them. No, I mean using the law. We deal with them using the law so that they face the consequences. I mean, you cannot just abandon a child in an unfinished building and then you go scot-free and expect to live the. What kind of emotions do we have as humans? Are we really humans anymore? Because really, there are people out there who are willing to take in children, especially that young. People are willing to take in children like that, because I think I've heard of people say, I don't mind taking a child as long as they're young, because it's easy for me to train them the way I want. And like I get a child who is grown already and they already have some concern. So all in all, what I'm trying to say is there are legal ways out there. If anybody really wishes to does not want the child that they have, there are legal ways of doing so. Go and see the social welfare. They will direct you. We have social welfare offices in all districts in the country, and that's what I believe. All districts in the country, they are there. Approach some orphanages. They should help. We all know where, at least we all know where one orphanage is. They should be able to help. There is no way you can just leave a child like that. What if nobody found them in time? What happens to the child? Starved to death? That's wrong. Honestly, that's wrong. We should not go back to those kinds of levels and we take it like it's normal. No, it's not normal. It's actually very wrong. And if those parents are there, they should know somehow that what they did is beyond wrong. Actually, it's just a crime against humanity and should not be tolerated whatsoever under any circumstances. I know people will claim, no, I'm unable to take care of the child. No, I'm this. No, it was unplanned. Whatever the case, there is a better way of letting go of the child, so that as you are handing them over safely and nicely with respect, so that the child will be taken care of by other people. Unlike what is happening, where a child is even found with bruises. Maybe the child was left on a rough surface and was turning around, and obviously they will have bruises. We don't know, but it's really uncalled for. It's really not right. I think I end there, Chaza.
Right, thank you so much, Lawrence. And just to add on to what you have, submitted, the viewers out there, the listeners out there, if you don't want a child or children, don't have them. That would be better.
I'm told some accidents happen. Boom! The accident has happened and the child is born.
Yeah, such accidents do happen, and when there are such accidents, then just like you were explaining, there are so many ways of officially handing over such children, to places where those children can be taken care of. Because if there's really an accident, maybe someone has been raped or something like that, I think it's something that can be helped by other organizations and so on and so forth. And like you wait until delivery time, then you dispose of the innocent child like that. I think that, like you said, is uncalled for. Just imagine,
Things that I think that was not a hospital delivery, maybe a home delivery of some sort.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we are coming to the end, but we have two couples of stories. So we are going to have the first couple, two stories, then we do our reaction, and after that we are going to have two last stories. So IT, quickly take us to the two stories, and on the other side we come back to react.
Another young life lost in an accident which could have otherwise been avoided. Mukoma Mwemba, age 28, has died in an accident which happened at the junction of Given Lubinda and Tokyo Way in Lusaka's Livala South area. This was after he failed to stop at the junction due to alleged excessive speed.
Due to excessive speed and crossed Tokyo Way, thereby hitting into a concrete wall for Lusaka Water and Storage Company, and the vehicle later rested at the same point.
An eyewitness, Abednego Mtonga, explains that the deceased failed to stop after noticing an oncoming vehicle.
Was coming from home. So I don't know if he was trying to have some, what we call drifting, or trying to do what we call here from here. So what happened was that the time we reached here, there was also another vehicle coming, Hilux.
His family is devastated at their loss.
At 05:20 hours to go to the gym, and before he could even reach the gym, that's when he had this terrible accident. Vehicle is less than 24 hours. This vehicle, he bought it yesterday at 13 hours. That's when he paid cash for that vehicle. And this morning, the tragedy happened.
The residents appealing to authorities to put reflectors on the concrete waterworks tanks to avoid accidents. Patrick Piki, ZNBC News in Lusaka.
Scores of residents trying to catch a glimpse of a dead man discovered in the area. This is in Lusaka's Kalingalinga compound. 29-year-old Chimwemwe Temba of Chilenje, I'm told, recently found a job here, but it is in this same area where he has met his fate. Police confirmed that the body was discovered by a resident in the early hours of Thursday, November 10.
This deceased person, who was later actually identified by the workmate as that of Temba Kapenda Chimwemwe, who was age 29, of a non-house number in Chilenje. He used to work for Disney Pub and Grill in the Kalingalinga compound.
The residents are now concerned with the increased criminal activities in the area.
After tamtamba wenzonongeka mupa na kwa nampaira stizi bako ashabe kumudumping ila hapo paji. Bafunika beba sewenze muno Kalingalinga muri majanki bambili bantu bamenye wa day.
Wale kama ngali majanki. Jamu isa suspect. Jamu chita shabe ni majanki.
Area Councillor Mukubesa Nyoni is saddened and he is calling for alertness among residents at night.
I received a call at just after 5 o'clock in the morning that there was a death somewhere. So I rushed there, and true to the word, I found a gentleman lying on the ground. To us, this is a very serious warning that they are here also. So this is the moment to urge the police to come on the ground so that we quench it before it erupts into something that is all over, in Kanyama and other areas.
The body has since been deposited in the mortuary. Memory Bugu, ZNBC News in Lusaka.
There we are, Lawrence. We have, two stories. One gentleman, 28, died in an accident, and we have, another one, someone aged 29 was allegedly, killed by what are known as junkies. Your reaction?
My reaction is this is sad news. We have two young lives actually that have been lost in these stories, and it's really sad. We wish the families to the deceased, we just wish them God's comfort and the mercies in this trying moment. because obviously the two are are breadwinners of some sort, and some people in the families depended on them to provide. First and foremost, I start with the accident, and I think let us make mention. Tokyo Way is not a one road you can freely drive on excessive speed. That road was very defective from the time it was made, such that it has ridges everywhere, nicely smooth, but with a very uneven road and all that. And that's what makes Tokyo Way very dangerous and all that. So sometimes I think Road Development Agency and Lusaka City Council should ensure that some of these roads are in good shape, because honestly, they tell us to take our vehicles for roadworthiness test. That is also called the fitness. But the car will pass being roadworthy. But are the roads car-worthy themselves? It's one question that we always ask, because it doesn't make sense that a problem can be caused by two situations, and yet we want to focus so much on one side. And when this one side is okay, we don't bother to look at the other side, which might also cause harm. Well, the police indicate that there was excessive speed involved, and which is unfortunate. I think this should act as a lesson to us young drivers, us young and overzealous drivers who might think being a good driver also translates to being able to drive at 220 kilometers per hour. I think it doesn't go to that, especially in roads like Tokyo Way. Please let us observe the speed limits, and I think they have put up some signs to say uneven roads along the Tokyo Way, because even the authorities know, instead of working on the road, they are putting up signs to say uneven road. I don't even get the logic also behind that. I really don't. When it comes to junkies in these communities, I think it's high time we found the permanent solutions and protect lives, because a lot of lives are at risk when we see people dying like that, and unexplained death. Don't even know who killed them or what killed the person, and then just find their body just like that. I think it's very unfortunate, and we hope that we can somehow have police patrols day and night in some of these areas, so that we can at least create some peace and order, some law and order in these areas. It's very important. The presence of police actually really helps. I submit, Chaza.
Thank you so much, Lawrence, and indeed, heartfelt condolences to the two families of those that have lost these young lives. We do mourn with them. Let's quickly get to the last two stories, and on the other side, we get to wrap up our program.
There are cadres in public places such as market and bus stations. We appeal to President Hakainde Hichilema to donate his presidential salary towards these particular cadres. He should swallow his plight, just like it was under President Edgar Lungu when he had the presidential empowerment program. He was able to donate his salary, and the salary was going towards the young people. We know that this government is collecting each and every little coin that young people are supposed to get, and therefore, now that cadres are mushrooming in various markets, like in the case of Comensa, even Intercity itself, we feel that there's need for the presidential salary to be utilized, because the Minister of Finance told us that actually the president doesn't get his salary. So why not give that salary to the cadres that are mushrooming in different markets? Thank you very much.
And I wanted to remain completely zero. I wanted to remain completely zero, people to see Mulabalaba, my Mulabalaba, because I was very, very unhappy.
But what did you remain with?
I remained with a pant. For those who don't know, go on the media, you are going to see my green pant. This is why I wanted the president.
Others were saying, Manjam guys, why you PND, have a green panty. Nishi, kapena watermelon, what PF.
Mr. Moderator, I have a lot of pants. So I wear, yeah, you know what I mean? Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You love pants more than boxers.
No, I don't love boxers because too much work on Muntebe. So I'm used of pants so that people can see, and I did deliberately for the people to see Mulabalaba, for the president to see my Mulabalaba, that I'm not happy. Mr. Joe Panwe, you can't be happy. Whereby
There we are, Lawrence. I really don't know what to think of, the last gentleman in that clip. If really is a comedian or what he's doing, is a serious thing. Let me leave it up to you, to react.
I love the part that at Trump.
I thought it was the opposite, how these two types, work. I thought it was the opposite.
At Operation Watermelon, he was wearing PF colors inside.
Yeah.
The mushrooming of cadres, true, it is happening. It is happening because currently a lot of UPND sympathizers feel really neglected by the party officials whom they thought when they go into power they will also have an easy life. I think as you can hear from the gentleman speaking that's in the first clip, he's talking about give the president salary to the cadre as well. So in the end, we are trying to go back to the issue of having handouts and all that. I was one person who was very against this idea of having people in bus stations because they will always be given something, and it discouraged people from going to work or from doing this or that. And that is where we seem to be going as things stand. And that is what people are used to, and that is what people want. In the end, it doesn't help anyone. Let us be real. You cannot force the president's salary to be given to cadres. It's if he wants, it's his salary. You cannot force someone to use a salary in a way that you want. I think that should not even be a topic of discussion. If the president one day wakes up and feels my salary, I'm going to give Lawrence myself, so be it. I'll actually gladly get it. If he wakes up one day and says, my salary this month, I'm going to give even my vice president, Madam, that's Honorable Mtalena Lumango, I'm going to give her my salary. That's his salary. He can give it. No one should even wake up and start giving suggestions on how someone should use their salary. Even me, you don't come to me and start telling me, no, because your brother gave us 12,000 last month, so you should also give us the same amount of money.
That we discovered that you've been receiving your salary, it just gets into your account, you're not using it, so we want your money.
What if I'm saving? What if I'm saving? No, whichever way, you cannot come up with ideas on how I should spend my money, how I should spend my salary. You don't do that. Never, don't do that. You don't go to anyone and start offering. Actually, to me, it's bad manners. I come to you, Chaza, and start telling you, when you get paid, actually, you should buy a plot. It's time for you to buy a plot. No, Chaza, you may have plans. You may want to buy a skide. And so it's yours working for the money. So now I should come up with a president to give you advice on how you should use your money. I think that feeling of entitlement should not be there. Let us not have that kind of entitlement. Cadres are also human beings like each and every one of us. Let us all go and work. That is how life is. All of us should look for something to do. I would actually be appreciative if he was giving an interview to say, no, we would be grateful if the government can give us this place so that we can farm. Why can't we think in those lines? No, as Gadas, we want this place. We are asking if they can give us this area of land because we have a plan. We want to start a farm here. But all we want is to be given, to be given, to be given. And that is where we miss it. So let us look at priorities. It all comes back to the same. This government, Boma Iranganepo, because we do not want to use our hands. Problems that we can solve with our own hands. We are waiting for Boma to come and do it. The whole entire government should come and fix your problem alone. And that is where we miss it. The whole entire president should look after cadres who are in COMESA. Come on. There are a lot of people that he has to take care of in the country. He has got over 16 million Zambians to look after. And those cadres in COMESA are just a small fraction who should also be among the 16 million. So they cannot belong to the whole 16 million and also want to create a separate set for themselves where they should get the president's salary directly to them. Things should not work like that. It all goes to the same Mazabuka man protesting in a green pant, as he emphasized. I think the whole issue, the whole protest was against the Mazabuka UPND chairman for whatever reasons and differences they are having in Mazabuka there, and he's trying to show his mulabalaba to the president because he's very happy with a district chairman. I think, gentlemen, sometimes let us save the president some energy. Let's cut him some slack. I mean, the whole entire president should come and see your mulabalaba because you are very unhappy and you want him to sort out a difference you have with your chairman at I'm not sure if it's ward level or district level, whichever the case, where there are a lot of hierarchies in between there. Why can't we utilize them? At the end of the day, it all comes back to an issue of dialogue. Let us learn to dialogue, even in these political parties. Communication is very important. Communicate with your subjects, communicate with your leaders, so that you understand each other, you move at the same pace. And like this kind of protests, and I don't think they're even taking us anywhere. I don't know if, like he puts it, he wanted to remain completely zero. I don't know if his wife was going to be proud of that. I'm not sure, but you remain completely zero, they'll arrest you. I don't know what problem you would have solved, but you'll be arrested. You cannot display nudity in public and go scot-free. That's a crime on its own. So you don't, whatever wrong you feel your chairman did, you don't solve that wrong by adding another wrong to balance the equation. Two wrongs don't make a right. I think I submit.
All right, thank you so much, Lawrence. We do appreciate, and you know, to the men out there that are listening or viewing, no matter how tough, no matter how bad things become, let us not show our mulabalaba. It's not actually, you know, for the men. That is on a light note, and it's been a great evening. Unfortunately, you know, Lance has the problem and has failed to actually be with us on the program. We hope next week, he's going to be with us. Thank you so much for watching, for listening. Lawrence, thank you so much. We do appreciate you. Next time, we're saying God bless you all. We are out of here.